Hello everyone and welcome to this video with the title What's the Story? My name is Agakura. I'm a highly sensitive person, and as a coach and NLP practitioner I work with highly sensitive people. Now, what's the story? This video is actually inspired through a coaching program that I'm going through right now. So I've mentioned in another video that as coaches we are always, and people working in the mental health area, we always encourage to keep working on ourselves and keep working on our skills. And one of the moments I love is to just dive into a new program, and the program that I'm going through right now, I've had so many takeaways, and one of them was this moment where the facilitator actually pointed out that our beliefs are stories that we repeatedly tell ourselves. Now, in another video, I have also mentioned how thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to behaviors, and behaviors eventually lead to the results that we have. So whenever you see a result, for example, an undesirable result in your life, it's always good to go back and see what thoughts have led to me feeling in a way that led to me behaving in a way that has led to this results. Now, before the thoughts come, it's actually beliefs that it's also important to look at. And our beliefs, they come in three ways. We have beliefs about the world and life. For example, life is good or life is hard. The world is a secure place, or the world is really a dangerous place. About people, people are generally kind, and or people only look out for their own, people are selfish. And then there are the thoughts, which are the most important ones, and that I've also pointed out in other videos, that it's important to look at the beliefs that we have about ourselves. So I'm not worthy of having or living the life that I want to live. I'm not worthy of love, or I'm not smart. And as highly sensitive people, and this is why I just wanted to record this message, we also have beliefs about ourselves that have to do with our sensitivity. So when we grew up, and most of us or many of us did grow up with in a surrounding that, even though there may have been people who loved us, but people telling us, you're too sensitive, just toughen up, or just be strong. Why do you always take everything so much to heart? And these beliefs may actually have become our own beliefs about ourselves. Now, I know that in my case, they did, and I would love to encourage you to see whether these beliefs or these words, these stories, because here's what, beliefs are stories. These stories that you were told about yourself became your own, and you may actually be the first person now to tell yourself, I'm too sensitive, I'm not strong enough. I know a very powerful belief that I held for many years was, I am not strong enough for this world, I'm too weak for life, I can't make it in life because I am too sensitive. And just imagine having these thoughts, and now just imagine having this belief, and then imagine the thoughts that went to play. Like, of course, look, for example, at that time, I was a performing artist. I can never perform as well in front of an audience as I do when I'm practicing, when I'm rehearsing. So I'm not tough enough for the world of performing arts. And at that time I used to think it's stage fright, and I talked a lot about it with my dear teacher, who became a dear friend, and because she used to suffer with me, she was like, I can't understand how we can be in class, you can have this moments where I'd love to just stop the class, pick up and call a record company. This is how amazing and how much you just give and transmit, and how deep the experience is of listening to you. And then once you are in front of an audience, it's like a completely different person. And I used to really think, okay, that's stage fright, until I came to work with a coach and came to train as a coach myself, and I saw the belief underneath. And it had to do with me not being strong enough for this world, not being made to make it in this world, which is why I would love to invite you to see whether there are these thoughts, because you may look at your results and just be frustrated because it's not the results that you want. It's not the results that you want to have out of life in any area. Maybe also, of course, as I said, there are beliefs that we hold about life, about the world, and about people, maybe about relationships, friendship or partner relationships. But most of all, I would like to invite you to look at the beliefs that you have about yourself, and whether these beliefs are the reason why, about yourself, are the reason why you may not be reaping the results that you would love to reap. And here's another thing. The interesting thing is that our beliefs actually, and that's another thing that the facilitator pointed out when he was working with someone around a belief they had with money, and he asked that person gently, is this person whose belief, whose story you've bought into, are they an expert in the area of money and business? And here's what. The answer was no. And if I asked you, are the people whose story you've bought and you've bought into about high sensitivity, are they an expert on highly sensitive people? Do they actually know about the strength that being highly sensitive holds? Do they know what it is to be highly sensitive? Most of the time our answers are going to be no. We have bought into stories from people who observed us from the outside as highly sensitive people, them not being highly sensitive people, who then made conclusions about, because we were different and because we were highly sensitive, it must be that we're too sensitive, that we're not strong, and that we won't be able to make it in this world because we're too sensitive. But they themselves, most of the people whose stories we've bought about ourselves, are not experts on being highly sensitive people. So my invitation to you is to first observe whether there are some destructive stories about yourself in general, but as also concerning your high sensitivity that you may be holding, that may be holding you back from living the life and getting the results that you would love to have. And then also I'd love to invite you, so there are ways, this is the good part, there are ways of telling another story and thus having a new and helpful, resourceful and supporting beliefs. It is possible to change these because they're stories. What do you do when you don't like a story that you're reading? You just shut the book and you take another one, right? You can do that. It's, of course, there is work behind that, and if you feel that you want to work around that, and you would like to know how the work that I do, and what techniques I use, I will always tell you that you're welcome. Feel free to contact me and to book a free consultation and see if my way of working is helpful and adequate to you. But I'm just here to say that whatever way you choose, just start doing research to see how you can become free of these stories, how you can learn to tell yourself another story. And I don't know about you, but there's some stories and books that I've read in my life that I didn't like, and I couldn't tell what happens in them anymore because I just forgotten them. And the ones that I love, actually the ones that I remember, and I'll tell people and just encourage them to buy the book and to read the story, right? And so it is absolutely possible to be freed from those stories. But here's what the first step that I'd like to invite you to do as of today is, whenever you hear a story, to first tune into yourself, or even when it's about the stories that you've heard about yourself. I'd like to invite you to start tuning into yourself, because I'm sure that there is a voice that wants to tell another story, that wants to tell you a story that is the truth. You're not too sensitive, you're strong, you are able. And whatever, even when it's not only about sensitivity, but as highly sensitive people, we were taught that maybe our way of seeing things and perceiving things couldn't be trusted, because of course we were being told that we were too sensitive. So we would be told, you see it like that because you're too sensitive, your impression is like that, or your experience is because you're too sensitive, because you're not strong enough. And so we've learned to first listen to the outside voices and information before listening into ourselves. So my first invitation and exercise that I'd like to give you is to turn that around, to listening to yourself first before you listen to any outside information and voices. Because I'm going to leave you with this: whoever the people are whose stories we are buying into, they too are having their debut here on planet Earth. They too are living and doing life for the first time. We are all debutants in this experience on planet Earth as human beings. So just think about that before you buy into someone's story the next time. Look at them and say they too are here for the first time, just like I am. And so I can also listen into myself first. Thank you very much. I hope that this video has been helpful or will be helpful to you. And I'll also link other videos that go in a similar direction about the strength of highly sensitive people, and other videos that I think may be helpful as a support to this one. And I hope to see you again in one of the next videos. Thank you very much.